Hi friends, Roy Huntington here. Hey, welcome to my garage. This is where I do reloading and work on guns and stuff like that. Many of you have been here before. So hey, my friends at Lee Precision reached out to me not too long ago and they said, hey Roy, we've got a couple products that we'd like to send you to take a peek at. And I said, okay. And then they told me what they were. And it was like destiny. It was perfect timing because I had just got a couple hundred rounds of military 223 or 556 brass. And many of you may not know, or you might know, that military brass, the primers are crimped in. So primers are seated, and then there's a die that they use, and it puts a little crimp around them. And that way they don't back out. Like let's say you're shooting a full auto weapon or something like that, or for any reason, you just don't want to have any issues with your primer if you're in combat. So it makes perfect sense. The bad thing about it, though, is that for just civilian schmucks like me, if I want to use military brass like that, you have to somehow get that crimp out. And in the old days, we used to just use, I had an old broken pen knife that the blade kind of fit, and so you have to scrape each one out, and it took forever, and it wasn't that good of a job, actually. So what they've got here, and it's really cool, it's something called the Ram Swage. I'll hold it up here, and you can kind of see it, and it's really simple. It's $50, and so what they've got is this die that goes into your ram, and then underneath it they have two of these little base containers. One holds an anvil for small primers, and the other one holds an anvil for big primers. And so let me show you how this works. Okay, so it's pretty easy. These presses use their breech lock system. So what I did was I screwed this die into a breech lock that I had. And so what's cool about that is once you adjust it, then from then on, all you have to do is just put the breech lock in, turn it, and lock it, and it's adjusted to the height that you need. Beforehand, then you have to set the die a certain way. The instructions are really clear. It's really easy. And then the base holder here just goes in the existing shell holder. And what I like about that is the fact that you don't have to change shell holders. If you're changing cartridges, it's just small primer or large primer. And so it works out really well. So now you take your deprimed case, which has the military crimp on it. And you'll see in a picture that we're going to show, the crimp is real obvious. It's like a ring that's around the primer, and commercial brass doesn't have that, and you can see. That's why you can deprime and prime commercial brass. So, all right, it's real easy. So you take your deprime case, put it on there, run this up into the die, kind of bump it, and you can feel that anvil do its magic. Pull it out, and then what it does is that it opens up that crimped area. So the anvil on the base swages that metal out of the way, and lo and behold, now you can put a new primer in it. So let's get a close-up on this, and I'll show you how it goes. Okay, so the Ram Swage goes in. It's got the base here with the anvil for small primer. I've got a deprimed military case that's been crimped. This seats on the anvil. You can feel it kind of find its way there. Bring the ram up until it bottoms out. You'll feel there a little pressure there. Take it out, and now the anvil has swaged open that crimp, and you can now seat a small primer in there with no fuss and no muss. And now something else while I have you here is this Lee small and large primer pocket gauge. And what it does is it assures that your primer pocket meets SAMI specifications. And so basically, after you do this, it's got a go gauge, which if it fits inside, then you know that that's correct. It has a no-go gauge, which means as long as it stops this, then you know the primer pocket isn't too big. If the no-go gauge goes in, that means you've expanded it too much. And there's not a darn thing you can do about that. That means the primer won't stay in there. And so you have to toss your brass and start over again. Pretty handy tool. Okay, well, quick and easy. Two nice, simple tools, $14 or $15 for the small and large primer pocket gauges. They're, go and no-go gauge, right? You've heard of that. And then the Ram Swage is about $50, give or take a little bit, and comes with 2 bases, so you can do large and small primers. And then I use a breech lock system on all this stuff now because it's so fast and easy. So, all right, here you go. This opens up a real world for you here, though. But now if you have crimped military brass, some law enforcement brass is crimped. I think 40 Smith & Wesson was for some agencies. And but suddenly now, if you have a friend somewhere and you have access to military brass, there you go. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.